Am I the a-hole? I'm pressing charges against my boyfriend's mom after she stole my card info. So I, 22 female, am dating Greg, 25 male. His mom is Lisa, 70 female. Last month we attended a funeral for a family member of Greg and Lisa. After the service, everyone was mingling in the fellowship hall and eating, and Lisa stepped out for a smoke break. I happened to see her, through one of the open church windows, get into the back seat of the car while lighting her cigarette, and then she started rummaging in the large bag that I brought along. I didn't think anything of it, as I had brought the bag so I could carry any extra things anybody needed, including lighters for instance, so I thought that's what she was fishing for. I went back to socializing and supporting Greg. Something that is relevant, but that I forgot at the time, is that I had left my wallet in that bag. Anyway, I stopped by the gas station 2 days later for some gas, and realized I was missing my card from my wallet. I used Apple Pay so I could get my gas, went home, and started searching. I also called Greg, who was at his parents' home, and asked if he could search there and see if I misplaced it somehow. I only take it out of my wallet if I'm using it and then put it right back in, but I thought that maybe I was shuffling things in my wallet, put it down, and forgot about it. I didn't find my card, Greg didn't find my card, and I decided to give it one more day before I canceled it because maybe it would just pop up. I had also not noticed any transactions through my bank app that weren't from me. The next day, Greg texted me saying he found my card on top of the washer. He said he doesn't know how he missed it, but it was there waiting when he went to do some laundry. I told him I'd get it from him in a couple days when he came back to our apartment. The next day was payday. I checked my account to see what I made, and I noticed directly below the direct deposit was a withdrawal for an Amazon order. I haven't placed an order for anything from Amazon in weeks, and checking on my account confirmed that. I asked Greg if he used my card to make a purchase, and he said no, of course not, he would never do so without asking. I canceled the card and reported potential fraud, and then it was discovered that Lisa has used my card for the purchase because she couldn't find hers. She said she would pay me back soon, and that she really needed it. I don't know what she bought, but I don't care considering she stole my card. She also apparently has a history with gambling and stealing. She has taken money from Greg before, and a driving factor of her divorce with Greg's father was that she stole most of his savings while they were separated. He has never recovered the money, but it was almost $500,000. I decided I would involve the cops, and now Lisa is furious and saying I'm being a brat and a lot of other insults and that I could have just waited for her to pay me back. Even though she also has a rep of not paying people. Edit. No, Lisa didn't have Greg at 45. She and her now ex-husband adopted him as an infant.
Obviously not the a-hole. Did Greg know about this and did he warn you about it?
He did tell me about her stealing and her gambling problem, yes. That's why I know. Neither of us thought or expected her to be the culprit when my card went missing though. Probably just didn't want to think too badly of her. That's over now though.
Good for Greg. And now you know you have to be really careful.
Not the a-hole. She stole from you, then tried to turn it around and make you the bad guy? No thank you. You did the right thing by involving the police. She broke the law, and your trust she should get charged for her actions. Don't back down here.
Info? Will she pay you back now? Also lock your credit. There is an ongoing risk.
She claims she will, but I doubt it. Also, I don't have credit. This was a debit card.
Not the a-hole. You have to press charges to report the fraud. Don't try and collect from a thief. Let the authorities sort it out. Block her, and I would look real hard at how your boyfriend responds to this before I let myself get too invested in that relationship.
Am I the a-hole for refusing to pay for my stepdaughter's tuition because she never liked me? I, female 39, married my husband, male 54, 6 years ago. Together 8. He has 2 children, male 20 and female 19, Emma. I have a daughter, female 9. I was a widow when I met my husband. Emma had severe issues with her father getting married again, while her brother got along very well with me and my daughter. He is the best older brother out there. Emma did not like me, and she treated my daughter very badly too, to the degree that she almost never left my arms when her sister was home. When Emma was 15, she permanently moved to live with her mother. My deceased husband left me a small fortune when he passed that I never touched since I had a good job and never wanted anything more, so last year I helped paying my stepson's tuition. I am planning to do that with my daughter too, and the rest I will add to my daughter. My stepdaughter is very angry now, calling me the aw. Am I? I never had a good relationship with her. She always hated me, and I don't think she's becoming a good person, and honestly, I would rather leave more to my daughter than pay for her ungrateful ass. My husband is sad because he thinks I am being unjust. I am very sad about it, but I still don't feel I am the a-hole.
Not the a-hole. She has no claim on your money. She hasn't treated you as family, so you don't have to treat her as family. Your husband should feel blessed you chose to give some of your first husband's money to his son. Not many people would do this. She is not entitled to anything from you when she can't even give you respect for how father feels about you.
She says this was the proof that I treated her badly.
You didn't treat her badly. She's just miffed that she missed out on having your money spent on her. It's your money. What you did for your stepson was great and fair play to you. And he was a good big brother to your daughter. But your stepdaughter is a vile, entitled person. You are under no obligation to fund her. But it's your husband and her mother to fund her schooling.
Since you didn't want to have a relationship with me, that caused me to be under the impression that you wanted nothing else from me either. Please correct me if I've assumed wrongly, and explain to me how you think this should work. Ask her to say the words and speak them out loud. Not the a-hole.
Op should ask her husband that question, too, since he seems to have caught a case of amnesia regarding his own daughter's behavior for the last 8 years.
Not the a-hole. Emma has 2 parents who can fund her. She's not your child. She's not even your friend. Tell hubby if he wants everyone to be equal, then you will withdraw from helping his son. They're all ungrateful. Instead of being appreciative of what you are giving, they look at what else they can demand from you. Emma's parents are getting a break by your paying brother's tuition, so they can put more of their assets towards Emma to make it fair if they want. Step-parent does not mean they are entitled to your assets.
Your stepdaughter is experiencing the consequences of her actions. She wasn't just absent and standoffish, she was hurtful and harmful to you and your daughter. She should not expect financial assistance from someone she's so disliked and mistreated. Not the a-hole.
Am I the a-hole for threatening to not take my girlfriend as my +1 to a friend's wedding over a wardrobe disagreement? 2 of my friends, Kate and Max, not real names, are getting married to each other. And I received an invitation that included loose guidelines for attire, not quite a strict dress code, but guidelines for men to wear a formal suit and tie with the "please reach out with any questions" addendum. Because I tend to wear a nice 8-yard kilt with a Prince Charlie or Braemar jacket and waistcoat when I am wearing formal attire, I reached out to Kate to ask if it would be appropriate and told my girlfriend, Sarah, also a fake name, that I hoped I could wear my kilt. Before I received a reply, Sarah told me that I absolutely cannot wear my kilt because it wouldn't be appropriate for a formal attire. Mind you, she has seen me in my kilt and PC for other formal events. But she said that she would leave it if the bride said it was okay. So all was good for a few days. Until Kate responded that it was great because Max would also be wearing a kilt, as would a handful of other people at the wedding. Initially, Sarah insisted that I still shouldn't wear a kilt because I would stand out too much because I won't be in the wedding party, until I pointed out that Kate explicitly said that she already knew some guests would be wearing kilts. But yesterday Max texted me because Sarah had asked him to tell me not to wear my kilt, and he was weirded out because he knew that I would ask to wear my kilt and thought it was strange for her to ask him about it. I was kind of hurt, and when I asked why she asked Max to tell me not to wear a kilt, she said that she thought it was the only way to get me not to embarrass her. I kind of get the embarrassment angle. I do sometimes get stares when I'm wearing a kilt in public, and I know that she is introverted. She also comes from a pretty conservative background, and when we first met she hadn't really encountered kilts before, and she has had some misgivings about me wearing them in the past. I admit I got kind of mad and told her that I didn't have to bring her as my +1 because I was the one who was invited. We got into an argument and she left pretty mad last night, and while I feel justified in my decision, I also don't know if I am in the wrong.
Not the a-hole. It appears that everybody but your girlfriend is fine with your wearing a kilt. Leaving her behind for this wedding would clearly be a kindness so that she can avoid being embarrassed. It's far less drastic than her pressuring the groom to forbid you from wearing a kilt. I would consider this kind of extreme attempt at controlling you to be a red flag.
I hadn't considered her asking the groom to be an attempt at controlling me. I definitely see that now. But I don't know if she really meant it that way either.
She did. She asked you to your face, and in an attempt to get her own way, she went around behind your back to try to get the outcome she wanted. You already said no. She didn't like that. Her reaction is telling. Dude, listen to her telling you who she is.
Not the a-hole. Sarah needs to get over herself. You'll actually be less likely to be stared at the wedding because others will be wearing kilts. And Sarah way overstepped by going to the groom behind your back. But do expect this to be a relationship-ending fight if you disinvite your girlfriend as your +1 to the wedding.
I really hope it isn't a relationship-ending fight. I am going to give her some space so I can think on it. But I am feeling a little more emotionally itchy about her talking to the groom now.
Please understand that the relationship-ending fight isn't over clothing. It's over her projecting her insecurities onto you at your expense, her trying to manipulate you by going around both you and the bride, and by trying to rope your friend into her lies. The clothing was simply the avenue with which these giant red flags showed themselves.
Not the a-hole. As long as what you're wearing is within the guidelines of your friend's wedding, you should be okay to wear what you want. Your girlfriend has the same freedom to choose how to dress at this event. For some reason, she has doubled down on not approving your choice of clothing. While that's on her, you might consider trying to figure out what's really going on. You are right in that she doesn't have to go if A, your clothing choices will embarrass her, B, she's going to continue to fuss about it, and or C, she's going to cause a stink at the wedding or reception.
What do you think of these stories? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel for more interesting stories.